It's Friday, March 22nd. I'm Wayne Moore. This is Evening Update. At the top of the news, a dispute between neighbors prompted a heavy police presence in a neighborhood near the hospital Friday morning. Castanet's Nick Johansson has that rather bizarre story.
A man showed up at his neighbor's door near KGH Friday morning and pointed a shotgun at his head after a dispute between the two households had been brewing for weeks over the placement of garbage cans. Evidence of the dispute can be seen on notes written on a couple of the cans, which say, "Stop putting your garbage cans in front of our house. Got a problem? Come talk to me." After one of the men involved asked the woman living next door to, once again, not block his parking area with the cans, the woman's partner showed up at his door and threatened him with a shotgun. No shots were fired and the man left. Police were called and they quickly swarmed the area, carrying large rifles. Richter Street was temporarily closed. The suspect was arrested and is facing potential charges. Police were clearing the scene just after 9 a.m. The wife of the man who was threatened says her neighbor must have woken up on the wrong side of the bed.
Kelowna-based Cherry Hill Coffee has responded to Thursday's recall of its N7 cold brew coffee product. Company officials say the recall was voluntary and not mandatory by Interior Health. It also noted there have been no reports of anyone getting sick from the product. The recall was ordered after IH determined improvements were needed in the transportation and delivery of the product to ensure refrigeration was maintained at all times. This could have led to a failure to control pathogens, including botulism. A truck driver who caused the deadly Humboldt Broncos crash has been sentenced to 8 years in prison. Jaskirat Singh Sidhu of Calgary had pleaded guilty earlier this year to 29 counts of dangerous driving. He stood quietly and looked ahead at the judge as he was sentenced on Friday. The judge noted that Sidhu's remorse and guilty plea were mitigating factors, but added she had to consider the number of people who died or were severely injured and face lifelong challenges. Tori Abbott says she's lucky to be alive. Abbott was only shaken and not injured when something smashed into her car Thursday afternoon. She was heading into Vernon on Highway 97 at the north end of town between the Wayscales and Meadowlark Road when a large object hit her car, smashing the windshield and spraying the inside of her vehicle with glass. Abbott said it appeared the object came from a tractor-trailer unit heading in the opposite direction. She bought the car just 4 days ago. The mother of 14-year-old Ethan Burnett has reached out to Castanet to help find her son. Tina Burnett tells Castanet her son was flying back from Edmonton on his way home to Fort St. John, but when he stopped in Vancouver to change flights, it appears he simply left the airport. He hasn't been seen since. She says surveillance cameras showed him walking away from the airport towards Vancouver. She's sure he's trying to make his way back to West Kelowna. Burnett says she moved Ethan away from West Kelowna because she didn't like the direction his life was heading. She thought Fort St. John would be good for him. Here's something you don't want to encounter on a highway. A vehicle coming at you going the wrong way at about 100 clicks an hour. It happened to John Corrigan Thursday on the Coquihalla. He was forced to change lanes to avoid a Bentley which was driving north. He was southbound. Police in Merritt say they are investigating. Highway 3 near Headley is finally open again to traffic. The stretch of road was closed for more than 7 hours following a head-on collision Friday morning. No word on what caused the crash or the condition of those inside the vehicles. A large crane was towering over downtown Penticton Friday morning, blocking Main Street. The crane was in place to lower ventilation equipment onto the roof of the former Elite restaurant, which is undergoing extensive renovations in preparation to open as the Block 300 Casual Steakhouse. New owner Fred Traynor says things remain on track for an early May launch. WestJet Airlines plans to stick with deliveries of Boeing 737 MAX aircraft once regulators approve the plane for re-entry into service. The Calgary-based airline says it won't follow the lead of Indonesia's flag carrier, which canceled its multi-billion-dollar order for 49 MAX 8 jets, citing a loss of confidence after 2 deadly crashes in the past 6 months. Kelowna RCMP responded to a single vehicle collision early Friday morning in the Rutland area. An eyewitness tells Castanet they could see a vehicle on the front yard of a home on Mackenzie Road near Highway 33. Oddly, the vehicle was on its roof, but the fence remained intact. Police say there were no occupants around when they arrived, but a sum of money was found unsecured in the vehicle. Okanagan weather, our run of sunshine is expected to end this weekend. Clouds rolling in tonight, bringing a threat of overnight showers. Showers hanging around for much of the weekend, highs in the mid-teens. Coming up tonight and tomorrow, the city of Kelowna goes after wildfire funds, and 7 cannabis retailers get their day before Kelowna Council on Monday. For details on these and the rest of the day's news, keep it here at castanet.net. Have yourselves a great weekend. For Castanet News, I'm Wayne Moore.